Okay, we're gonna call the steering committee to order. Thanks everybody for being here. Let's start with a quick roll call. Keith Liederman, representing Head Start.
Dr. T. Moore, representing NOEEN Public Schools.
Joy Mitchell, representing Child Care Assistance Program.
Oh, that's me. Nicole, caregiver. Representing. Oh, Kate, representing Ellie Moore. Christy Gibbons, representing City. Melanie Richardson, representing caregiver.
Oh,
No, she's not here.
No. Rebecca Latham, Orange University. Emily Wolf, outgoing Steve Morales, Mayor of the Then Roberts, NOEEN, C3 Board of Directors. Donald Firm, Service Education, Women Who Turn On.
that everybody on the steering committee?
And the other one.
Rochelle Wilcox, B3. And Derek Tubes, Ready Start Network.
Okay. All right, great, thanks. So I'm gonna turn it over to Rebecca. For coordinated enrollment.
Yeah, so you also have a copy of the 23-24 coordinated enrollment plan template. This actually gets submitted via job form, so the formatting on what you're seeing may be a little funny just because when the state takes it, we actually have to copy and paste and put it into a job form. Eric's got some, I think, goals linked up there. You don't want to take a look at that, but every year, the lead agency is required to submit a coordinated enrollment plan to the Louisiana Department of Education. Usually this is due at the end of February, but we found out at the end of October that it was due on December 2nd. And so we reached out to LD to get an extension because the level of stakeholder engagement that goes into drafting this plan and signatures of approval and needing to make it in front of the steering committee. Today, we just got permission to request, I got permission to extend and adjust the timeline for when we submit this. And so we actually need to just submit it by the end of the day on Friday. We did meet with the enrollment subcommittee to put the draft plan together. We brought it in front of program partners. There was probably about 30 to 35 participants. We did that via virtually. And so we went through every question with the program partners after we incorporated the enrollment subcommittee's feedback into it. The program thought with that feedback, drafted it, and then made additional revisions to it based on the feedback from our program partners. And so the version you're seeing today has been in front of those groups. And their feedback is incorporated into the plan. I don't know, probably want to give a minute for folks to look through to see if there are questions, comments. So the plan has 5 sections. Section 1 is about maximizing system capacity. Section 2 is coordinated information campaign and questions related to our plan for that. Section 3 addresses coordinated eligibility determination. So what is the review process for how we determine if applicants are eligible for the publicly funded seats that we have in the system. Section 4 is about our application matching and registration processes. So that really gets to the common application process of the NCAP. And then section 5 is coordinated family support. How are we supporting families? And then there are some questions related to the ASQ and screening information there. So a lot of the initial draft was done collectively by NOEEN as an agenda, as we each sort of take a primary lead role in these different sections. And then, like I said, the subcommittee, enrollment subcommittee, spent a couple hours with the document, incorporated those revisions, and then had program partners and did another set of revisions before we're bringing it to you all today. After it's approved by NOEEN, we will meet with early childhood enrollment points of contact at our normal monthly meeting, which we moved up to a week so that we have that tomorrow. And they'll also, be approving the final version of this as well. And they'll do that via signature as we then submit to LD, hopefully on Friday.
So it's due Friday, not tomorrow.
Due Friday.
Got it. So
Yeah.
Allison, can we let the record show that the slide that I put together is incorrect and the deadline is actually Friday? Because the meeting with the.
Yeah.
Is tomorrow.
Yeah, assuming the vote goes well here, and then we have the approval tomorrow,
Mhm.
or we can plan to submit it at the end of the day tomorrow, but the LGE knows that we're holding these stakeholder engagement meetings, and they were fine with us submitting it later than December 2nd, given the short window we had to meet with everyone and the holiday break we had in there, so.
Move for approval.
It's my public comment.
Yeah, is there any public comment? Well, you moved, so I'll second the motion. And I'll observations.
There is a public session scheduled tomorrow evening, right? Therefore, I would like to, make the amendment that the submission be on the ninth. So that there would not be a submission prior to that parent individual.
Any other public comment or discussion?
No, I just want to say the coordinator on this meeting met for a very long time and gave Rebecca a lot of feedback on this, and she took it all very well, Grace. We all had all sorts of ideas. There was a lot of engagement from that group. Yeah, agreed. Yes, it's very well done. Great.
All right, so we have a motion, we have a second, and I think we can call for the vote. So all those on the steering committee in favor of adoption of the coordinator enrollment plan for 2023-2024, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? No abstentions? Okay. Passed. Thank you.
All right, thank you all. We'll have a brief membership update before we conclude, but a bittersweet one. So as Emily mentioned whenever she introduced herself, she said that she is the outgoing City of New Orleans Mayor's Office representative. Emily is leaving the mayor's office at the end of the year and before. So I'll pass it over to her for any words to the steering committee.
Well, no, I mean, I've always loved coming to these meetings. It feels like just being, it's always sort of felt like home, and I know we can talk real straight to each other. And just really proud of what's been able to be accomplished in such a short year. I've been happy to play a small role in that, and it's really excited to work with all of you and for the future of really childhood in our city. I will not be a stranger, but Asia is here, Ms. Paulette is going to be moving into the director position on Monday. And so I will, I'm sure, of course, be available to her after a couple months. And we'll stay connected. I'm going to be starting a role at Children's Hospital, leading their 2 week benefits for February. So excited to continue to intersect with all of you through that work. And yeah, just thank you for everything that you're doing on behalf of our kids. You all are some of the fiercest, especially you, advocates in the city, and I think that that's really shown up in the results that we've been able to, the outcomes we've been able to achieve for kids.
Well, Emily,
Thank you.
A big thank you, Emily, for your years of service that predated me on the steering committee, and your leadership at the city and on the steering committee. So with Emily's departure, that means the City of New Orleans Mayor's Office seat on the steering committee would be vacant. However, we're excited to nominate Asia Aled, the incoming Director of Office of Youth and Families, City of New Orleans Mayor's Office.
It's from them.
Oh, actually, let's put that down. We'll get that. Get fast. So I'll read Asia's bio, and then we'll do the formal nomination. So Asia Aled is the incoming director for the Office of Youth and Families. After graduating from Hampton University, Asia began her decade-long journey as a math teacher in rural Louisiana, and soon after earned her master's in education from Johns Hopkins University. With her continued love for educating students and her depth of knowledge about child development and academic expectations, she took on the position of being the principal and director of mathematics and science for a K-8 school in New Orleans. Having context for teaching in schools, working directly with curricula, and leading teacher development within Orleans Parish and across the United States, Asia has been influenced to pursue her next phase of leadership. This has not only included running for public office, but now working to support the city of New Orleans in building and strengthening systems so that they can have the greatest impact and truly meet the needs of our young people and families. So Asia is our nomination to replace Emily in the city of New Orleans Mayor's Office seat. Here we go. So we will open up to discussion and public comment before Keith calls for a formal vote.
Would you like to say anything, Asia?
I mean, I very quickly would like to say that I am very grateful to be in this space, but also, you know, I met many of the people in this room from the campaign, and so it's really just exciting to see what it looks like, not from like, you know, on the ground and organizing and being with all of you as, you know, canvassers, but like the people who actually have done so much of this planning and work. I just to like see this full circle moment, I'm very grateful to be a part of. Yeah, I mean, I think for everything that Emily has said, our office will continue to champion, support, and advocate for the needs of the space. Not that y'all don't have that locked down. Like when I talk about like organizing and really putting the work behind the words, this is a group that has shown that in huge ways. I think, you know, Rochelle said it really well, like $21 million is not small. And it should be, you know, celebrated often and frequently as a good point what our city can do and will continue to do. So yeah, I'm glad to be here. You know, I'm +1, so like I won't be here for a little while. Thanks, John.
Any further public comment or discussion? No. All right, well,
I'm motion to approve the nomination.
thanks. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Thank you.
All right, we have one final membership update, and that as we near the end of 2022, let me not jump the gun. Keith is our outgoing steering committee chair, and Miss Thelma French will be our chair starting in the new year. So at Keith's last meeting, we would like to formally thank him for his years of service.
So I get to be the person to say thank you. I feel incredibly grateful. Keith was on my hiring committee with Mary and a few other folks. And so he's been a long friend and a long colleague, both to me personally as well as the field and the sector. You were just moving into the past chair role. So the nice thing here is that we'll still see you at meetings. But I do believe that Keith was the perfect leader for us as we navigated COVID. As a steering committee, as we applied for a Ready Start, as we went from one lead agency to a co-lead agency model, as we then rewrote our bylaws, not once but twice. As we decided we were going to be a 501c3, then not be a 501c3, and then
to decide again to create another 501c3. So thank you, Keith, for everything you've done. You have always been a champion for this room and this group, but especially for kids. And so we have something small for you, and you can share. There are lots of reasons why we decided to do this, but I couldn't get you any time with children
Yeah.
because you already have one. And so you can open it. You can actually show. So we got you something else that represents the kids of New Orleans.
Thank you all so much. Oh,
For your office,
Very
so,
Thank you.
it's done with kids and with adults. And so the thing that I really like about this is that kiddos, the kiddos did the river. And the reason why I think that is that you really,
that's awesome.
the Mississippi runs the wrong way, right? Or the right way. And you have helped us ford that river so many times. So when you look at that, you'll think of NOEEN, but you'll also think about all the things that you helped us do and how hard that was. So thank you, Keith. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate it. Oh, thanks. I've been on lots of committees, we've all, those of us have been around for a long time, we've served in a whole bunch of different capacities in our community. And so lots of steering committees, lots of groups and advisory groups and boards and all that kind of stuff. But I really believe that this has been the most consequential project initiative that I've ever been a part of in the city. And it's all because of the people here in this room and those that have come before us, who've been part of this effort, and the incredible partnership and collaborative, just collegiality that we have. I've never seen anything like it, and I've never seen the needle move in a way where providers are coming together with NOPS, with the city, with agenda, with NOEEN, and the state, and just working together to make change happen in a positive way for kids and families, and then it actually happens.
Yeah.
And that's, you just don't see that very often. So it's really been a privilege and an honor for me to play this small role, and I especially want to thank the agenda and the NOEEN staff for making it easy. Because you really do. The amount of work that y'all do every day is incredible. And you just set the table for everything in a way that makes it easy for people to lead and for us to make decisions that really make no sense. And so I want to thank you all for that leadership that you provide the support of all of us as members of the steering committee. It's really led to tremendous change. So thank you all. Yeah, it's been is there a gavel that I can turn over? So I'm really pleased to turn it over to Thelma's leadership, and everybody, of course, knows just all of the accomplishments of Thelma over many years here in our community, and we couldn't be in better hands as the steering committee chair. And I just look forward to continuing to work together. You've always been a great partner of mine, a great friend, and I'm looking forward to your leadership. So with that, I will call for adjournment, and I don't think we need a motion, do we? Oh, we don't get it. So well done. All right. Let's.
No, that's okay. Let's,